With Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny hitting theaters very soon, I'm revisiting the 4 Indiana Jones films. So today, let's talk about Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Hey everybody, my name is Justin. Here I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up-and-coming content. In 1957, Indiana Jones becomes entangled in a Soviet plot to uncover the secret behind mysterious artifacts known as the Crystal Skulls. So, fun little fact, this was the first Indiana Jones film I saw. I saw it in theaters when it was released. I remember that day vividly. Coming out of the theater, really enjoying the movie. And not knowing the references to the previous 3 films, my friends that I saw it with haven't seen the Indiana Jones films either. It wasn't until college that I watched the first 3 films and I understood the references with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I still hold a soft spot for this movie. I like it. It's an enjoyable film. Is it good? No, not really. It's the worst Indiana Jones currently. I don't know how Dial of Destiny is going to be. But this film, I like it. It's an enjoyable movie that has enough elements to it that makes it entertaining. The opening shot shows the use of CGI groundhogs, and from there on it relies on that to showcase the action. The first 3 movies had practical effects, good stunts to show its action, and you believed all of that. All of the big action scenes from Temple of Doom and Last Crusade, those were so thrilling. And with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the use of CGI, it's not as entertaining as the previous 3 movies. A lot of these action scenes use that CGI, and it really just takes you out of that environment. There are some stunts and practical effects within this movie, but for the most part, it feels very polished, and we get that a lot throughout the movie. And it just feels very different from the previous 3 films. It tries to go bigger than the previous 3 movies, and with its story as well, but the action and what Indiana Jones goes through, it tries to take it to a whole nother level. We have to have CGI in here, and it looks good. I think a little less of it would have been better if we could have had more practical effects to make it feel believable. Harrison Ford is still great as Indiana Jones. His age shows in his appearance and his character, but the charm and wit still makes this character likable. He does seem less vulnerable due to that CGI and his age as well, so it makes a lot of the story itself as they are searching for these crystal skulls to be less intimidating and serious. You don't feel that threat within this movie because Indiana Jones, for a lot of the movie, just gets out of it and is safe. Whereas the previous 3 films, you feel like they extended these action scenes and really put him in these serious situations. And here, he gets out of it pretty safely, and the CGI just makes it easy for him to get out of it. The supporting cast is really good. Shia La Beouf is fun. They broke down his character to show his true emotions. I really like his addition to the movie. He seemed a little bit out of place, a little too emotional at times, but I did like how they broke him down and showed his connection to Oxley, played by William Hurt. I did like how the character was handled. I think a little bit at times it was a little too emotional, and in the height of some big action scenes, Indiana Jones is trying to get everybody to safety, and he's upset about Oxley and a few other things. But overall, Shia La Beouf is a great addition to the film. Karen Allen steps right back into the role of Marion, and there is improvement to her character. She's stronger within this film. She doesn't rely so much on Indiana Jones within this movie. There's many times where she is the one protecting everybody else within this film, so I like how they handled her character. I wish they would have did a little more with Ray Winstone. His character was hot and cold at times. He was good, he was bad, he was back to being good, he was back to being bad, and it's so hard to connect to this character and understand who he really is because of that back and forth. So it's a character that I found to be pretty flat, even though I like Ray Winstone as an actor. I think they could have done something differently with this character. And I really like Cate Blanchett as Spalko. Right amount of intensity and curiosity about the Crystal Skull. She's intimidating. She works as a villain in the franchise. Now the story fits nicely into the 1950s setting with a focus on otherworldly beings. It's a departure of its traditional focus on history, but it does embrace a new tone. It does got a fun sense of adventure as they are looking for these crystal skulls, traveling in many different places, big scenes to elevate the action within it, and especially the end with the aliens and the crystal skull and the big scene at the end. I like how the story matched what was going on in the 50s with aliens and everybody's like intrigue about it, and so I think it fit nicely into it, even though it was a departure of your typical story about history and artifacts like that as well. So I like the story. I do like the story within it. And John Williams' score, once again, absolutely fabulous. It just so catchy, beautiful score within this movie. Every single Indiana Jones movie has a score that elevates the action scenes, the personal scenes to the characters, slow development for our characters. To this day, it's still crazy what John Williams is able to accomplish, and the music is so iconic. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is not the perfect Indiana Jones film, but it does have that fun sense of adventure, likable characters that are introduced. I wish they would have had this movie years prior, maybe in the 90s, early 2000s, because it does seem so far apart from Last Crusade to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and there's so much time in between that they could have did other stories. If you had a couple in the 90s and a couple in the 2000s, it would be so cool to have many more Indiana Jones films. But I understand Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Harrison Ford, all wanting to do different projects. I completely understand that. But just imagine how cool it would be to have more Indiana Jones films in the 90s and early 2000s and just see a lot of fun adventures. They could have done so many cool things with it. But since it's so far separated from Last Crusade to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it's easy to separate both of them, the three films and then this film, and easily to see the style that's different, the use of CGI, less practical effects, the age to Harrison Ford. It's easy to just see the differences between those films. I do like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and what it does offer. It was the first Indiana Jones film I saw in theaters. I still go to that theater to this day, and so I remember seeing that movie vividly. A lot of fun references. There are some moments that really just do not make sense. Him in the fridge just is unbelievable. Shia La Beouf swinging with the monkeys, that is absolutely ridiculous. But they're not even to the point where like, oh, that's so stupid, that's fun. It's just dumb. It does not make any sense. And like I mentioned earlier, he seems less vulnerable due to those CGI moments and how they have to have these bigger action scenes. And so you have these moments that you're like, he's not supposed to survive that, but he does. And it just does not make sense. But this film, I still enjoy watching it. My daughter enjoyed watching it too. I'm so glad that she is watching these movies at a young age, because I never did as a kid. I haven't showed her Temple of Doom yet. Hold off a little bit for that film, but she really liked Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So I'll go see Dial of Destiny and see how that film is, and then I'll probably wait till it hits Disney Plus to show her that film. But I wish I would have watched these movies as a kid. I was in 11th grade when it was released, so I saw it with all my friends, and it wasn't until a couple years later that I did see Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade. But I really do like the Indiana Jones franchise, one of the best, most iconic franchises in movie history. So before I give you my score for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit the subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull a B. Thank you guys for checking out my review for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Share your memories of the film in the comment section down below. My name is Just Wanted Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.